DBT, Distress Tolerance 4. In this session we're going to look at the next two distress tolerance skills, self-soothe and TIPP. Self-soothing is being comforting, nurturing and mindfully kind to yourself as an alternative to harming behaviours such as drinking, binging, substance use and self-harm. It helps people to tolerate painful feelings without making things worse. Self-soothing also helps to reduce emotional mind and active impulsively because it's like giving ourselves a metaphorical hug, like a loved one would do for us to make it all better. Like relaxation, it changes our neurobiology and makes the brain think it's being cared for, and therefore not in danger, so releases happy neurons. We need to train ourselves to notice when we're in emotional mind so that we're able to act differently. Self-soothe and not self-attack. Some people have difficulties with self-soothing. They feel that they don't deserve to be kind to themselves, or feel guilty or ashamed for doing so. They might be worried that others see them as selfish. Others feel that they should get soothed by other people, or feel angry at others that self-soothe. Can you identify with this? Do you already self-soothe when you're in distress? For those who don't believe they deserve self-soothe, opposite action is required. One way of using self-soothe to tolerate distress in a crisis is to make a self-soothe box. You can put this in front of your method of self-harm, be it razors, pills, alcohol, drugs, or a fridge if you binge. Then this way, when you're in emotional mind or a crisis, you're reminded of these skills in order to survive the moment rather than self-destruct or punishment. This will not be easy if you don't feel that you deserve to be soothed, but the more you practice, the easier it will be to accept soothing. It's the only way to shut up your self-critical creature and stop your brain from doing more harm than good. Balancing self-soothing with being effective is important during a crisis. Overwhelming feelings stop you from doing what you need to. In a crisis where emotional mind takes over, self-soothing can be used to calm emotional mind, ready for you to deal with the problem effectively. Self-soothing involves all 5 senses: vision, hearing, smell, taste and touch. There's many different ways that you can self-soothe with the senses, but we'll just go through a few examples. For vision, you could look out of the window, look at the sky, light a candle and watch it flicker, look at calming pictures or old photographs, watch a film or a TV programme. For hearing, you could listen to calm nature sounds like rainfall, or listen to soothing or exciting music. Go outside and mindfully listen to sounds around you, for example cars, birds singing, or the wind. Let them come and go as they occur. Sing your favourite song, play an instrument, call a friend or a helpline such as Samaritans to hear another's voice, but not if the purpose is to moan or self-pity. For your sense of smell, you could use your favourite perfume or aftershave, shower gel or soap. Light your favourite scented candle or incense. Smell some spices or some coffee. For taste, you could have a cup of your favourite coffee, tea or hot chocolate, a bowl of ice cream, a piece of your favourite fruit, a piece of cake or whatever your favourite food is. Lastly, for touch, you could wrap yourself in a blanket or a duvet, stroke your dog or your cat, put a cold flannel on your forehead, or give someone a hug. Another option for self-soothing is by body scan meditation, a more focused attention onto bodily sensations. The idea here is to settle the mind by letting go of thoughts about the past or future and instead focus on the present, experiences of your breath and body. This helps increase awareness of bodily sensations and mental reactions. Focusing your mind on your breath and other bodily sensations can be a very soothing experience if it's done slowly, with curiosity and with gentleness. It can help to ground us when emotions feel out of control. In a crisis where you have very little time, do a brief body scan. Focusing on one section of your body, moving on to a second, and then a third if you need more time. Observe the deliberate untensing of muscles. Don't hold on to tension. We're now going to look at the TIPP skills. TIPP stands for temperature, intense aerobic exercise, paced breathing, and paired muscle relaxation. The TIPP skills rapidly change our biological responses to cause a reduction in emotional arousal. These skills are a quick fix for getting out of an emotionally overwhelmed state. They work within seconds to minutes to bring down emotional arousal. They're as effective as harmful behaviours, but without the short and long-term consequences. TIPP skills don't require lots of thinking and can be done in public without anybody knowing that you're using the skills. They change your physical reactions to kind of turn your mind away from emotional distress. This works by decreasing the sympathetic nervous system activity, or the fight or flight response, and increasing the parasympathetic nervous system, which decreases arousal, slows heart rate, and softens the muscles. So when could we use the TIPP skills? You could use them when you feel trapped in emotion and you can't get out, when you're in a crisis and have urges to engage in self-destructive behaviours, when distraction hasn't helped, when you have to make a decision or meet a demand and feel too overwhelmed to do so, or when you're unable to process information properly or weigh up the pros and cons. So as we said, the T in TIPP stands for temperature. You could change your body temperature using ice packs, or tip your face into a bowl of cold water. This activates the human dive reflex. The heart rate slows down to preserve oxygen when you're underwater, and this triggers the parasympathetic nervous system and reduces physiological and emotional arousal quickly. This can also be useful if you're dissociating or ruminating whilst trying to get to sleep. The results of changing your body temperature are only short-lived. This is a short-term strategy to be used in a crisis, and be warned, the overwhelming feelings, for example anxiety, might come back if you don't follow up TIPP with other skills to deal with your problem. Don't try changing your body temperature quickly if you have heart difficulties or medical problems. Always check with your doctor first. The I in TIPP stands for intense aerobic exercise. Short, intense exercise for 30 to 60 seconds has a rapid effect on mood, including reducing ruminative thoughts and increasing positive mood through endorphin release. Use this when you're agitated, angry, or ruminating, or with any overwhelming emotion. Strong emotions such as anger or anxiety prime the body so that it responds in either fight or flight. High emotional arousal results in high physical arousal to prepare the body for action. This strong link between emotions and actions is what makes resisting urges really difficult. Intense exercise utilises the excess energy from adrenaline and regulates emotional state. An example of this would be at the end of a workday when you find out that a report you thought was due next week is due tomorrow. If you don't do it, you'll have big problems. You feel so overwhelmed right now that you just don't know where to start. Take a short break, go for a quick run up and down the stairs, and return to finish the report by the deadline. The first P stands for paced breathing. Focus on your breath instead of your thoughts. For example, breathe in for 4 seconds and out for 8. Place your hand on your stomach to feel it moving. Breathe using your stomach rather than your mouth. Slowing the exhale activates your parasympathetic nervous system. The breath out must be longer than the breath in, as this is when the heart beats slower. This works in a similar way to the dive reflex that we spoke about earlier. Finally, we move on to paired muscle relaxation, tensing and relaxing each muscle in your body, one at a time. This can be very good for people who have problems sleeping. Tense your muscles as you breathe in, and release them when you breathe out. This combines mindful breathing with progressive muscle relaxation to increase awareness of the body. By helping your muscles become more relaxed, we're in turn relaxing the mind. It's important to note that this skill might not lead to feeling relaxed. This could possibly be due to the fact that you're worrying about not feeling relaxed yet, or panicking that you're not doing it right and that it won't work. The point is to increase our bodily awareness rather than to feel relaxed per se, in order to get through a crisis.